bank, and you go to the commercial banks and you bring everything they ask you for, and even more, and then you get your loan with very or no difficulties. A second thing I have, a second problem, and it's a real problem I have with the credit union. There's they come together, right? All the other credit union, be it Castle Bruce and Laplane and all the other credit union. And you know, in Roseau, they don't cater for the influx of people that will come to the credit union. When you go to the credit union, Matt, imagine you spending 3 hours standing in a line, 2 hours standing in a line, and there are empty teller booths. Empty teller booths. And I mean, it's not like it is 12 o'clock, noontime. So you say, okay, they go to lunch, some go to lunch at 12 and some go to lunch at 1. 10 o'clock in the morning, Matt, 9 o'clock in the morning, empty teller booths at the credit union. I personally spoke to one teller, and I said, why is this? Why are we wasting so much time there? Look at the amount of teller booths. You know what the gentleman told me? The gentleman said they are tired of complaining to management, and management are up there enjoying all the benefits, and they are not seeing this simple thing that we, the people, are complaining about. So it's time that the credit union look into that. You waste too much time when you come at the credit union. For instance, if I'm coming from Point Michel, right, and I need to shop, I don't have to go in Point Michel in the line. I don't have to go Point Michel, take the money, and then come to Roseau to shop. I can just, is Roseau I'm coming, I just go to the credit union in Roseau because it's the same thing, and do my shopping. And yet the people at the credit union, especially in Roseau, fail to realize the influx of people that come to Roseau. I hope they do something about it and not always just figuring out it's profit, we make profit, we have how many $1 billion and wherever they have it. But it's looking at the needs of the common man and of the poor people of Dominica. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, too. I told you it was coming. Yeah, this debate or argument will continue. Is it still a poor man's bank? Somebody's asking, where is this written? We'll take a break, Dominica, and we'll come back. 4493095.
Madam Harry Potter Sacred Washi Medicine to the Kutia Pharmacy, where Harry did bossing flat, if you want to support and land. It is how cafe Episa, and not well my last 2 words. Episa. Harry upon yes is true. Pisa money on Tipotla. Don't get him up to make a urine and see more 3 times a day. Madam Lily, do urine Harry, mew, no medicine boost, yep, are you? And where's the prescription? It is me a posh mommy. What's the sense of buying that? Lemoka PC No, you see the importance of going to your pharmacist, listening to your pharmacist, and having confidence in your pharmacist. FPS.plus will they place a higher premium on patient-pharmacist relationship than Quick Care Pharmacy Cote Halsbro just before the National Bank. Cote Quick Care is not just a quick fix. It's not just about tablets and spoonfuls. They brought back the care into medicine. Whether it's a prescription or over-the-counter medication, the priority is your health. To take the right medication, the right amount for the right reason. Madam Harry, I see right in your medical book, next of King, Henrietta, Harry, movie farmer. By the way, is next of King, King, the Harry Ukakemo movie. All I want for you is good care. That is why I always recommend Quick Care Pharmacy because they help grow.
Advertise where everyone's listening. Advertise on Q95 today. Get more bang for your buck. Talk shows, news, sports, music shows, entertainment events, weekend shows, Newsweek reviews, early morning shows, evening and daytime shows, hot tips on health, nutrition, security, traffic, weather, environment, and more. Place your display banners on the Q95 website, www.q95da.com, with live links to your own website. Advertise on Q95, your one-stop shop for audio and video streaming, breaking news, sports, and entertainment. Advertise on Q95. Get value for your money. Call 767-448-5822 today.
Family. There's nothing more valuable, which makes planning ahead so important. With Sagicor Life Solutions, you could receive a lump sum payment should you become seriously ill. Plus, Sagicor Life Solutions allows you to invest in a savings fund that offers an attractive interest rate, ensuring financial security for you and your family. Contact your Sagicor advisor for more details. Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
And that's what we're talking this morning for a few minutes. with the insurance experts here from Sagicor. Good morning to you. Good morning. How are you doing, Ms. Rowe?
Good morning, Mr. Peltier. I'm fine.
Yes,
Good morning to all.
you look fine. I see you getting wine, finer like wine every time I see you. Is there something that's happening there? You must give us the formula. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good day. Good morning to Dominica also.
All right, good morning. We had to talk insurance and everything that's good about insurance. Some people will say everything that's bad sometimes. Is there something bad about insurance, Ms. Rowe?
You know, I always say, Matt, I wish that the people that we help and the checks that we pay out, that we would go on the radio and on the television and on the newspaper and advertise what we do. But the challenge with that is that when people receive checks from Sagicor, they don't want everybody else to know.
Oh, so
you don't see the good side.
we hear about we don't hear the good news all the time. No, all right. So let's talk insurance. What would you describe, basically as insurance, and what type of insurances that you offer?
Well, insurance is protection and it's risk transfer. So it's transferring the risk from your pocket to a company that all of us puts in. I always say that some of us will get sick, some of us will die young, most of us will die old, some of us will get disabled, some of us will lose limbs, some of us will get sick. And the issue is, if we knew who was going to get sick and who was going to die, there would be a line by my office from Portsmouth to Roseau with people wanting to buy insurance. But because we don't know the hour, or we don't know what might happen, you might as well transfer the risk. I mean, people insure their houses and they insure their cars. I'm sure your car is insured, right, Mark? You do it every year. Are you insured? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So people protect their cars, they protect their houses. What is the probability that your car, I've been driving for 30 years, I've never had an accident, but I have gotten sick. So what is the probability that your car is going to be damaged compared to you? You are the sole breadwinner most of the times, and you need to protect your income, you need to protect your health. You need to stop going to the government when you are ill, and you need to stop calling Q95 and to do GoFundMes, which is what is happening. And for $3 a day, you can have medical insurance. How many Dominicans do that? But they will spend more than $3 a day on top-ups. So it's a matter of priority and education.
How do I become insured with Sagicor if I do want to be insured?
It's a simple matter of you coming in and you speaking to one of our financial advisors, because the way we approach this industry is not by selling your product. We don't come and tell you, hey, Matt, I have the Samsung 8, come and buy this phone is great. We don't do things like that, because every product that we have is great, but it depends on who you're speaking to. And every individual in Dominica practically has the same needs. However, one need might outweigh the other need. So in speaking with an individual, we determine what's the best solution. Because as Mrs. Rose said, it's about transferring the risks from you to us. So based on your priority need, we will offer you a solution for that.
All right. Let me throw it in, because somebody said that to me recently. I stopped paying, so many years I paid insurance, I stopped paying that. I finished that. That's the Dominican slang. I finished that. Then people thieving my money. Well, how are we going to respond to that, Mr. Rowe? Somebody fell for 30, 20 years.
I don't know who's them people that are thieving your money, because Sagicor bought over by British American portfolio. So we have people that have passed away with British American, and we still honor the claims. We have people with policies. All our BICO clients are with us, and we continue to provide them the protection. I think it boils down to responsible behavior, Matt. It basically boils down to responsible behavior. And a lot of times people are too irresponsible. You will find, I will speak to a wife and I will ask her some information about her husband. She has no idea. I'm like, how could your husband knows everything private about you, including your body, and you have no idea as to whether he has insurance? Who is going to foot the bill if something happens? This is responsible behavior. One of the challenges also we have is education, and I think it has to start from primary school. Primary school, high school, we do speak to high schools because it's not in the curriculum. Nobody teaches you financial prudence. Okay, so you're walking around with 2 cell phones in your back pocket. You know, you have your car, you have your this, you have your that. and you don't have medical insurance, when something happens to you, they have to start calling Matt, or they have to do GoFundMe, or they have to walk up the government steps. And every young man in Dominica wants a bike, or has a bike, or dies by a bike, or gets into an accident by a bike. But how many of them have medical insurance, which costs $3 a day for $1 million worth of coverage, including
You say $3.
$3 a day, including 100% airlift. Okay? We do 100% a day airlift. 100% airlift. So for all of you that are hearing that there are people offering an ambulance for $1 a day, you don't need that. Once you have insurance with Sagicor, once you have medical insurance, it covers that, plus organ transplants, plus flying you overseas, plus taking your spouse if you're in the plane once you don't have too much equipment in the plane, plus covering your children once they are students of a university or college up to the age of 25 under the family plan. Under the family plan, it works out to be about $6 a day. And it covers you no matter how many children you have. It's the same premium. So Mike, if you have one child, it covers you for the same premium as if you have children all over Dominica. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, it covers you wherever you are. Children, and I'm very particular about that, children born within the marriage but not belonging to the wife can go on that plan as well. Please don't punish the children. It doesn't cost you 1 cent more, and you can put all your children on the plan.
All right, let's take a phone call. There are phone calls coming in here. Very interesting discussion here. Insurance, huh? You need it today. Hello, talk to me.
Yeah, Mark, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Okay, my call has nothing to do with your program in one way, but in another way it does. You have to tell people driving on the Imperial Road,
yes,
to the round from Kings to the roundabout, to be careful because they have two separate accidents. The boss ran into a pole by
yeah, we heard about the bus accident this morning, and we're very happy that you could report it. Are you going to insure yourself today too?
Yeah, sir. Another one. The CRV just went down in a valley a little higher up.
Okay.
Just after the Springfield Hotel there.
Thank you. You see the need.
I wonder if they were insured.
You see that the need for insurance. You don't know when it's going to happen, right?
Accidents is not a respecter of persons, and you just never know. I mean, my daughter was in a terrible accident 2 years ago.
2 years. How's she doing now?
She's getting better.
God bless. Yes.
No, but it can happen to anybody at any time. It's just one of those things. So it is better to be insured than not insured.
Another phone call. Hello. This time we're talking insurance. Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
I would like to know up to what age I'm an adult.
At what age can you be insured? That's what she's asking.
As a dependent, as your child, or yourself?
Just yourself?
Adult.
An adult.
Up to age 64, they can do individual health. Up to age 64. So from 0 to 64, you can purchase medical insurance. One of the things I'm noticing, Matt, is like I had two people come to my office, and one lady came upstairs, and she said she wants insurance. So I says, okay, how did you hear about us? She said, well, the doctor tell me I have to do surgery, so he asked me if I had insurance, so I said, ma'am, that's not how it works. You have to be insured first. If you get sick or if you get into an accident, we cover you. You don't come when you are sick and when you have surgery to have the insurance. So that's why I tell people it's a matter of priority.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of priority. Some people tell me, they can't afford it. I say, but you have mapping, right? Mapping is pretty much the same price as medical insurance. Do you want mapping or do you need mapping? Then they say, I need mapping. I say, do you want medical insurance or do you need it? Well, I need it too. So it's just a priority.
I like that. Do you want it or do you need it? All right. What in your own research? What are you finding out? Who are the people who insure the most? Young people, older people. What do you see in your surveys?
Brenton did
on your data.
He did a demographic. So let's hear it from Brenton.
It is a bit split right now. We find it's about 40% millennials and 40% Generation X.
Explain to us what that means.
Okay, so the millennials are the group that moves from about 30 years down to 12, the tech-savvy group of society. Generation X are those who are following the steps of the baby boomers. So practically they will be my parents.
Okay.
So you find a mix because, like I said, the needs between everyone exist, but what are the priorities? So persons in the Generation X stage might be thinking about protecting their children. They have children going to university. What if they don't wake up tomorrow? Who's going to pay the tuition for their children? What if their children fall sick? And also they have to start thinking about their retirement. And then the millennials, though we may not have an immediate need for protection, we have to also start thinking about our future. And I say we because I'm a millennial also. So we start thinking about, what can I focus on to provide me retirement income other than just Social Security? Because the more eggs you have in your basket, the safer you'll be in the future. And I've told persons in my age group, retirement is scary. You're thinking about 35 years or more without an income of what you're making now to survive. What are you going to depend on? So if you can start planning at your young age, when you reach that age, retirement will be a cruise, and that's what retirement is all about. It should be about relaxing, being happy, enjoying life. But if we don't start planning now, then it's going to be very scary for a lot of us. And we see it in the social programs. I'm thankful that there are social programs to aid persons, but I think it's indicative of the fact that persons have not really sat down to plan out their financial future to be independent enough at that age. And I would like to see everyone being independent. But as Mrs. Rose said, we need to become responsible for our finances and take the actions that we need to take.
Yeah, but I was speaking to someone the other day, and they told me the cost of a weave, a human hair weave, is $100 US. And I'm like, wow, okay. That's something that you could buy or not buy.
Yeah.
I asked the person if they had insurance, and they're like, no. I'm like, okay, you don't need the weave, but you have it. So again, it's about priorities and educating the public.
But I think so. As you just mentioned that, the education has to start at our high schools, or even at primary schools. Growing up, nobody told you anything about the importance of insurance or, retirement packages. I think it's about education.
Yeah. And Dominicans, we pride ourselves on living long. If you're planning to live long and you retire at 55, you have another 30, 40 years to go. The price of electricity and water and television and phones are not going to go down. So because you retire, your priorities of your daily living does not go down. So what's going to happen to you? And so you find a lot of people taking loans when their families get sick, and the turnaround time to liquidate at the bank, if you get into an accident, it's going to take at least 3 days. Let's say you get into an accident on Saturday night, Matt. How are you going to get a loan to get out of Dominica? Whereas with Sagicor, you live on Sunday morning. And there are people that want to come and testify on the radio, so another time we will do that.
Yeah, bring a few people to give their testimonies. Hello, talk to me.
Well, my testimony, Matt.
Your testimony.
Sagicor.
Yes.
These people are business people, and they have the brains, behind what they're saying. Let the people that are listening to them right now go to them for medical insurance, for life insurance. You'll see the amount of tests they have to give you. I recall in 1992, I had a little surgery in Matnik. British American refused to take me because I couldn't find a doctor in Matnik at the time to write a letter saying, well...
But let me just ask you a quick question. Why didn't you take insurance before? That's the point that the lady is making, that you needed to take the insurance before, before you get sick. Not that you're sick, you need insurance though.
It happened 2 years before, or a year before, but just because you have to state on the paper what surgery you had. Very minor. Just recently, Sagicor, my family planned to go to Sagicor. They stopped me from going to another insurance, and I went to them. They refused my husband. They said this. They make me take tests for months and months. When the only one in my family that was healthy, they begging me to take that little one. Put her.
But my point is, and of course, ma'am, I really appreciate you calling. The point, because you're going all around in circles here. If you fall sick, then you go to the insurance. It's going to cause some problems, Mr. Rowe?
It depends on the type of illness you have. We're looking at non-communicable diseases, which is diabetes and high blood pressure, and we tend to rate that. A lot of the things we're seeing too, Matt, while we have to do tests, is there is a serious obesity element in the island. Mark, look around you. It's not rocket science. 3/4 of Dominican young people are overweight. So when you look at your BMI, your index, and you go and you say, what's your height? 5'3", what's your weight? Around 200, 190 pounds. You must be rated or you must be declined because you are high risk. We have to start taking care of ourselves, and we have to start doing preventative care, and we need to be insured earlier on. It's not when you had a surgery.
How soon after you take the insurance that you qualify?
You can qualify within the month. You can, and parents who have children at university, for example, my daughter, she was on the My Plan. And as soon as she graduated as a doctor, I took an individual health for her. Had I not done that, the cost of the medical care in the US, if an accident happens overseas, you can well imagine the cost. So thankfully, I switched right away from the group plan, because she was now, as a doctor, once you graduate, you cannot be on your family's plan. So that's something I want to tell all the people out there who have children at universities. As soon as these children graduate, put them on the individual plan. My son just graduated, I put him already, because you just never know. Sometimes
so anytime you graduate, you don't qualify to be part of the family plan?
No.
Okay.
No, because they're no longer at university. So when you're taking them to graduation, when you go to their graduation, you need to go with your form so that you can do individual for them right away. Because you just never know between that time and they get a job and maybe they have a group plan that something might happen.
4493095. Let's take another phone call. Hello, 856. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, ma'am.
I have a life insurance
Okay.
with Sagico. Can I turn it to a medical insurance?
Can you make that switch?
Unfortunately, you can't, because every product is separate by itself. So with each product that you do it first, it's a separate contract that we're taking out with you.
So you can come in and do your medical as well. You come in to do your medical.
Do you have at Sagico's retirement packages?
Yes, we do. We have retirement, we have annuities.
Yes, we have several products. We have products for everyone except for vehicles. And as I earlier said, it's all about what's the priority to the individual. So if you come into us, you have 5 children, and you have no insurance, but you're thinking about retirement, I mean, we will advise you that maybe you should look at life insurance protection for your children, but at the end of the day, the choice is yours. If you want to be selfish and think about yourself in the future, it's up to you, but we will still give you the best advice that we can give.
857, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
It's still me.
Go ahead, ma'am.
The other thing is, I took a loan with Sagico, and I finished pay, and I'm getting a letter that I am owing X amount of money with interest. What is that about?
All right. Well, we are Miss Roll. Is that can that happen?
I think the lady needs to come into the office and for us to look at her portfolio, because when you take a loan on your policy, it's very easy to get a loan on your policy. You walk in here today, we don't ask you, except for your IDs, you have a right to take a loan on your policies, and you get your checks next morning, compared to when you go to the bank and you have to go through a lot of different qualification.
Okay.
And there is an interest rate on it, so I would have to look at her. I can't tell you from what the caller is calling in what is her situation, so she would have to come in and look at it. We'll look at it, because once you finish paying, you finish paying, but her thoughts of finished paying might not necessarily be what is, so I would have to see the document.
But do you explain to them before they take the loan?
Yes, we explain to them, and they have to sign documents.
All right.
One of the things also I want to mention is beneficiaries.
Okay.
We appeal to everybody to come in for us to look at their beneficiaries as well, because we inherited British America's portfolio, and there's still a large quantity of people that we cannot find. We've tried their numbers, we've tried their addresses, so we're appealing to all BICO clients to come in so we can update your records and also to explain to you to put beneficiaries as much as possible, because sometimes, Matt, you have a man who died and had 7 children with 6 women, and he did not leave a named beneficiary, so you have letters of administration and people upset, but Sagicor must honor the letters of administration. What the person does with the money when they receive it from Sagicor as the administrator of the property is up to the person, but we cannot share the money to your 7 children. So we advise and make sure that you have named beneficiaries as much as possible. And for those who have minor children, that they can put somebody responsible. For example, when my children were growing up, I had 2 adults, and when they became adults, then I put my own children. So you need to also look at beneficiaries as well, because it sometimes creates, and it takes a longer time for us to pay out. And when somebody passes away, Matt,
yes,
I want their medicals and I want their death certificate and I want to pay out, because that is what they trusted us to do, and that is what I pride myself on doing. And Sagicor.
You have a good record.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I would like to find out what is the maximum age that you all insure person.
All right. Let's get that question.
For medicals, the maximum is 64 years, but for life insurance, I just insured a 73-year-old man a few weeks ago.
All right, that's good. Hello, talk to me. Another phone call. Hello. Yes?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. What I want to know is, I just heard when you were talking about, it seems, some pre-existing conditions, where the lady was talking about having previous surgery and then it was denied. And the lady from Sagicor was talking about, well, if you have diabetes and blood pressure and you need to live well and whatever, insurance is for when you're sick. So if I'm eating well and living well, why would I need insurance? I'll just grow up and die. So I think the law should mandate that insurance companies insure you despite pre-existing conditions. So you cannot be a good corporate citizen and tell me that we're only interested in taking your money when you're healthy so that we don't have to pay. Rather than it's more about when you're sick and because you have pre-existing conditions and your BMI and we will evaluate you. That to me.
All right, let's stand the line.
Let me ask you a question, sir.
Go ahead.
If you had an insurance company and you were insuring vehicles, and somebody brings a crashed vehicle to you, would you insure it, or would you insure the vehicle before it crashes?
But what a crashed vehicle can operate on the road?
No, I'm asking you a question. If you had a crashed vehicle, would you insure?
Hold on. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
If you had a crashed vehicle, would you insure it, or would you expect the person to come when the vehicle is fine and then insure it, and then if they crash, you pay out? Don't you think that's fair?
But that is fair, but you cannot use a crashed vehicle on the road. So why are you trying? That analogy, honestly, is a ridiculous one. Sorry to say that, but that analogy cannot work. Okay?
I've been paying insurance for over 30 years, and it's just recently I had to claim. Sickness and accidents is not a respect of persons. All of us are paying. What if I was to say, well, I was paying Sagicor so long and nothing happened to me, and how many people have died since I'm paying? What if I had to have that attitude? So all of us are paying, all of us are putting our eggs in one basket, and if somebody gets sick, praise the Lord, there's insurance. And if you don't get sick, then you say, praise the Lord, I'm not sick. You can't have it both ways.
All right, but put it that way. Let me answer you. If you are very healthy and registered today, and you get diabetes or hypertension tomorrow, would they still qualify?
Of course,
yes.
Of course you're covered.
Because they're
no
already
matter
covered.
what you get.
All right.
No matter what you get or what accident you get into, that's the plus of having.
But how often do you have to insure? Is it every year thing?
No. Once you have your insurance, you pay your premiums. Yes,
that's it.
Premium, that's it. And then especially sometimes your family history as well. If you know your family has a history, you might want to even insure earlier. Like I insured this young lady the other day, and her mom died at 28 from an asthma attack. She believes in the value of insurance because it could happen to her. You understand? So sometimes your family history predisposes you to illnesses, and you might as well have the insurance so that if in case you need it.
All right, let's take another phone call. It's the People Show. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
Matt, is your have a medical and you never get sick, what
Oh.
becomes of?
Repeat. Repeat again.
You have a medical insurance
Uh-huh.
and you never get sick,
Uh-huh.
what becomes of your money?
Well, that's what insurance is about, right? Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
I would love to answer this one as a young individual because young persons like to think about what they're getting back in terms of spending.
Yes.
Now, insurance is all about peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I have been paying my health insurance premiums for the past 8 years.
Right.
I have never claimed and I have never complained because I am healthy. Thank God for that. But I do know that should something happen to me where I require to be sent to America, Guadeloupe, Barbados for treatment, I am taken care of. My family does not have to get any medical stress because thinking about finances does give persons some sort of medical stress.
Right.
And then I know that most likely the cost of the treatment that I will receive will far outweigh the money that I have put in. Because we have seen cases where people have paid premiums for 2 years and then we have had to send them out for treatment that costs $200,000. Do we as an insurance company come back and say, hey, we spent so much on you, we want extra money? No, that is where we transfer the risk to us because we have accepted that risk that if something should happen to you, we are fully committed to taking care of you. So you don't think about it as putting in money and you don't get any benefit because the day something does happen, we are always going to be putting out more than you put in to take care of yourself.
All right. Hello, talk to me.
Hello, good morning, Matt.
How are you?
Matt, I'm good. Very interesting program, Matt. And the people in your studio are right. We need to make priorities, Matt. We have how much vehicles stuck in our yard. We have insurance on them. We pay thousands of dollars every year for house insurance. I personally realized I couldn't have a paper or have somebody with a paper going around and collect money for me to travel if I'm sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have life insurance and I do have health insurance with Sajiko. I believe that persons with precondition should probably get the government should put in place a health insurance scheme to cover them. But it cannot be fair for the insurance company to be responsible for preconditioned people at this time. But truthfully, there are a number of people that can pay their little insurance and they say, well, they're working like a clock, so they paid no attention to that. I think we must pay attention to ourselves and our children and do insure.
Caller, thank you very much. Personal testimony here. 907, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I would like to ask a question. I wasn't there for everything, but I want to understand something.
All right, go ahead.
Health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If at all you never fall sick and then you die sudden, will your family members get any incentive?
All right, so that answers your question.
No, if you have medical insurance, it doesn't cover life insurance. You have medical and you have life, so you need to look at a small life insurance for yourself.
Is life cheaper?
The premiums are different because it's calculated different.
Okay.
One of the ways you can calculate your worth, because how do you put a price on Matt? What is Matt worth? Matt could win the lotto tomorrow. How do I know what Matt's worth? And what we tend to do is look at your income and multiply it by your years in service and also your responsibilities. And you find a lot of people come to the office and say, I want an insurance, the bank send me. And I chastise them. I said, the bank shouldn't send you for insurance. You should already have insurance so that when the bank tells you need, if you go to the bank for a loan of $300,000 and the bank says, this is one of your requirements, a life insurance, you're supposed to be able to say, I have one already, sir. But you find people come here and they will insure and they don't even realize why the bank sent them. They just want to satisfy the bank. But the bank is sending you for insurance to protect the bank's interest. The bank doesn't want to have to go and throw your family outside if you die. So the bank makes you take an insurance so that if something happens, Sajiko pays it to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, sometimes you need more insurance than what the bank is doing, because if you are the breadwinner and you close your eyes and you pay off the bank, who's going to pay the mapping, the light, the water, and the children's school fees? So we counsel them. We don't just do what the bank sends them to do. It's a lot of counseling, Matt. We spend minimum an hour per person.
All right. Are you the caller?
Yes, I'm there.
Uh-huh.
So in other words, what it means, the life insurance is just, the health insurance is just for health.
Yes.
So at the end of your death, if you don't inherit anything, there is nothing for...
Nothing in it for you.
Nothing there for you or your family. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, go ahead.
We have people that have exhausted their major medical insurance, Matt, right in Dominica. We have people that we have spent over $1 million on medical care. One night,
$1 million?
Over $1 million, Matt. We have the documents. You can walk into the office and I can show you. I won't show you the name, but I can show you the billings.
Yes.
Matt, one night in ICU in Martinique is at least €1,000 a night.
My
so
God.
if you spend 2 months in Martinique, it's 60,000 times 60,000 euros is what, almost $200,000 already. So that is why people need it, and the time it takes you to mobilize, even if you have to go to the government to ask for help or go to the bank to get a loan to get the money to get co-signers, the person might not make it, and that is what is essential, that you have it so that you get out of here and you get to the hospital, and you don't just get to the hospital by other. I understand there's a company that is selling air ambulance. That is worthless if you don't have medical insurance. And I tell people, once you have medical insurance, that covers everything, because the hospitals are not going to accept you most of the time if you don't have medical care.
Hello. We're moving on here. Very interesting discussion there. Insurance. Hello.
Matt, one question.
Ask a question.
Do they plan in the future to have exemptions for pre-existing conditions for medical? Because, like for instance, somebody has a non-communicable disease, it is there, you apply for health, because I know the insurances do that. Okay, high blood pressure. We are not going to pay you for anything to do with high blood pressure, but we will do every other thing. Ask them, I want to find that out, if they plan to do that, because I notice they don't do that.
No, we do that. We have exemptions. We do have exemptions. So, ma'am, I would like you to come back into the office and to see me so that we can look at your existing portfolio, because we do that. If you have had surgery and if you have done this or that, we do exempt in some cases. Like, for example, we have a lot of back pain issues. Some people, like, they injure their back, so we might waive, we might exempt from back injury issues, but then we will cover you if you come up with a cyst or cancer or prostate. And the other thing we do, Matt, is preventative care. So you are allowed to do preventative care once a year, just to cross-check and just to cross-check with the doctors. And a lot of clients are in denial as well. So if you go to the doctor and your micro level is abnormal, where you have blood in your urine, for example, that's one that is common. And so it might be an indication of kidney issues or things. Just, you need to start looking at your eating habits, your exercise habits, and so on, because those things do affect us. And we have so much food in abundance, so I'm not surprised why there's so much obesity. There's a lot of food.
Hello, caller.
Good morning, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Well, I would like to congratulate Mrs. Roll and Mr. Hilaire for the interesting topic this morning. And I want to say that I have also been insured for over 30 years. And I have not really made any significant claim on the insurance company. But what I have found is that a lot of the people that work and they have the resources that they could insure themselves. And anytime there's a problem, they pass around and they always want you to help. In the meantime, they don't have the priorities right. So they could make a little sacrifice just like me and everybody else that pays the insurance every month, and don't wait until there is an incident where they need help to find insurance. So thank you very much for the information this morning. I think it is quite educational and constructive. Thank you.
All right, here's a question to you, Ms. Rowe and Mr. Hilaire. If a person takes a policy at 25, has never claimed, and now 85, and ailing, but under no medical insurance, just old age, what happens to all these premiums paid over 50 to 60 years?
So they're not sick?
They're just they're aging, but they have paid.
But they're not sick. Are they sick?
No,
so
not yet.
What are you paying for if you have medical insurance?
No.
One of the things I want to see us do, and I've submitted that information to my head office. One of the things I'm passionate about is long-term care insurance.
Okay.
we don't have that yet. I mean, we have pension plans and you have retirement and life paid up to 65, where when you reach 65, you no longer pay, but you're covered for the rest of your life. So that's one thing. But long-term care insurance is something we will have to look at. We have longevity in Dominica. So if you don't get sick at 65 and you need daily living assistance,
right.
So you could do it from your pension plan, you can do it from your life paid up at 65 cash value. But specifically long-term care insurance, where you bought the insurance for when you get older, especially for career men and women. You find a lot of women sometimes have no children and they're career oriented, so they did not invest. And even if you have children, your children go overseas and they live their own lives, who is going to take care of your daily living? For example, if you were to go to fax,
who's going to pay that?
Who's going to pay that? So long-term care insurance, I'm very enthusiastic about it, and I hope we bring it down here.
All right, we have kind of gotten over our time, but more telephone calls. I'll allow a few more phone calls, given the importance this morning. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes.
I have a concern. I'm a member of a group insurance with Sagico.
All right.
My daughter is at college, and she's 19.
She's 19.
Yes, I just heard Mr. mention up to 25.